If you've got a burning question or insightful comment, please send it to onpolitics@tvo.org. And JMM, I always love this part of the program, I must say, because we get to find out what people out there are interested in, and occasionally we may actually have the right answer to the questions they have.
We do try.
What do we got this time?
So we have a question here from ex-user Mike Warland, and it is about drawing up the writ. Mike asks, after the writ has been drawn up, previous MPPs are no longer in the job. Fine, but by what legal authority can government operate at this point in time? Is Parliament operational? This seems like a silly question to me, but please make this clearer.
Okay, Mike, first of all, I have to say, I love you. Thank you for saying when the writs are drawn up as opposed to when the writs are dropped. The Lieutenant Governor, when an election is called, does not drop writs on the floor. He or she draws them up. So thank you for using the right terminology. We love that. Now, we're going to talk to you about something called the Caretaker Convention. And it requires the government of the day to confine its activities to just what is necessary to keep government going. Nothing controversial. You can't introduce new policies that are out there that other parties in the legislature don't agree with. You've got to keep things just nice and neutral. Avoid doing anything that a future government, for example, would not also sign on to. Maybe like starting a war. You wouldn't want the government of the day at Queen's Park to start a war because that would be considered controversial.
Yes.
So it's the Caretaker Convention. That's how that goes.
Yeah, and so, the Caretaker Convention is in place when there is no legislature because the government is supposed to be accountable to the legislature. And once the legislature is dissolved, it does not exist. There's no mechanism to recall it because it doesn't exist anymore. And it cannot be recalled until new MPPs have been elected. If after an election, the same party has a majority and it's very clear that the existing premier and cabinet will remain in power, then nothing changes and the Caretaker Convention ends very quickly. If a different party is elected, there's a different majority in the legislature, then the current government remains in a caretaker mode until the new government is sworn in, until the premier and has a cabinet in place.
Now, what is also interesting about this is that this Caretaker Convention, it is not a section of the Constitution. It is not in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. It's not even a law that some legislature once upon a time passed. It is a custom. It is a convention. When we say convention, we don't mean like a bunch of people gathering at a convention hall. It's a convention as in a norm, a custom that has developed over the last 154 years, and it works. It's a part of our democracy that works. So far, in my lifetime, every government has kind of respected the Caretaker Convention. And that's a beautiful thing in a democracy when everybody respects the results. And I'm not making any allusions there to anything that might be happening south of the border.